Good morning, Bimblers. And you join me at the Sankey Viaduct. As the name of this video suggests, we're off on our way into St Helens again for St Helens 2. In St Helens 1, we started out on Billinge Hill and we were supposed to make our way to the Transport Museum in St Helens. But by the time I'd finished doing all my other filming, it was closed. It's only open on a Sunday from 10 till 4. So we're coming back again. It's a Sunday. It's rather early. We're going to try and get to that museum. So let's stop messing about and let's bimble to Barcelona.
Life was left alone in days that felt so long. Being on our own was irresistible. Thoughts kept to myself, shared with someone else, silently replied to most inaudible. Quiet imagination running away with me, secret conversations between you and me. Sometimes it was nice for a change, make believe this wasn't so strange. I'm telling you my secrets again. Imagine that you're still here with me. Imagine just how good that could be. I'm telling you my secrets again. I know it's just pretend, but I'm telling you my secrets again. What a life to lead, played internally, presented just for me, but all controllable. Of course you're unaware of all this time we share, and though you're never there, it's unstoppable. Quiet imagination running away with me, private conversations made secretively. Sometimes it was nice for a change, make believe this wasn't so strange. I'm telling you my secrets again. Imagine that you're still here with me. Imagine just how good that could be. I'm telling you my secrets again. I know it's just pretend, but I'm telling you my secrets again.
And so, Bimblers, we reach Parr and St Peter's Church here in Parr. I'd always thought that Parr got its name from the same place as the Parr Hall in Warrington, but it doesn't, so that's an explanation for a different Bimble. Parr here in St Helens is all to do with the horseholder Parr family, who lived at Parr Hall. Not that one in Warrington that I've just been on about, a different one. That would have been near where Frodsham Drive is today, by the Lidl, very handy for him. One of the members of the lineage of the horseholder Parr family is Sir Thomas Parr and his daughter, Catherine Parr, the 6th wife of Henry VIII, the one who didn't get to bump off like the other 5. Just like most parts of St Helens, Parr would have been full of very easy to dig out coal back in the day. They would have dug things called bell pits, that's digging a big hole and then digging outwards, as far as you would dare before it all fell in on you. Those bell pits led to mine shafts, and collieries, and thousands of workers all needing places to live in St Helens. And all those workers needed a church to go to, and that church they used to go to burnt down, so they built this one behind me, St Peter's Church, built in 1865. It was designed by a James Medland Taylor. He designed many churches and many fancy buildings, but his main claim to fame comes from his two aunts. That would be Anne and Jane Taylor. They wrote Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and by default the alphabet song, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, same tune, isn't it? Twinkle Twinkle Little Par. Let's bimble.
Easiest to make. Aim for the stars, it's yours, just wait. You do your best along the way. But it's those arms that told me I don't care if it's yours or mine. Without you, it's just a waste of time. You showed me from the start, such inspirations need a heart to bring you round. Big aspirations need a heart to hold you down. Though some get lost along the way, as sure as night designed the day, as long as I'm allowed to say, it's my heart that told me I don't care, you just disagree. Without you it wasn't meant to be. You showed me from the start, such inspirations need a heart to bring you round. It could be ours. Big aspirations need a heart to hold you I don't care, you can say what you like. I'm a peace-loving person, but I know I'm right. It's as easy as right from wrong. I'm a lover, not a fighter, so I wrote this song. You showed me from the start, such inspirations need a heart to bring you round. It could be ours. Big aspirations need a heart to hold you down. From the start, such inspirations need a heart to bring you round. It could be ours. Big aspirations need a heart to hold you down.
This is probably the oldest building in St Helens, or at least the oldest building still intact. Keep watching, Bimblers. It's a friend's meeting house, so a Quaker church, if you will. The Quakers don't really do churches and cathedrals and priests and bishops and things like that. They think that anyone that believes in God is a priest unto themselves. They call each other friends because of a line in the Bible, John 15:14. Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you. It was a George Fox that founded it all, and probably the fella that gave it its name. He'd been brought to court for blasphemy, because he hadn't been going to normal church. He'd been coming to buildings like this and meeting up with his friends, and they saw that as not believing in God. He was reported to have said to the judge, "Quake before the authority of God," thus giving this group of Christians their name, the Quakers. In 1662, there was an Act of Parliament called the Quaker Act, which made these meetings illegal, but it didn't stop them. Certainly didn't stop them here in St Helens. The owner of this building, George Shaw, used to get fined all the time. They used to just take his furniture off him and sell it to recoup the fines. He was convicted of holding a meeting of worship, which was against the law. That was up until 1689, when they passed another law called the Act of Toleration. That said you could worship whoever you liked, as long as you weren't Catholic. Doesn't sound very tolerant to me. There's lots of famous Quakers. John Cadbury, you know, the chocolate fella, and John Dalton, the father of atomic theory, Judi Dench, Ben Kingsley, James Dean, Kevin Bacon, Richard Nixon, the former president of the United States, all Quakers. I don't know where the porridge comes into it. Let's get to this museum. I'm currently sat on a Blackpool tram, Bimblers. I haven't got on a train and gone somewhere else. I'm still in St Helens. I'm in the St Helens Transport Museum. I've made it here at last. It's pretty fantastic. It's not just buses from St Helens. It's buses from everywhere. London buses, Preston buses. There's trams, like this Blackpool tram. There's Blackpool buses. They've got bikes for the Bimblers. They've got a fire engine. They've got cars. They've even got a milk float. There's everything here. This building was originally constructed in 1881. It would have been for the horse-drawn trams of St Helens, and they gave way to the steam trams, which became the electric trams, and eventually became the buses. It would have been the St Helens Corporation back then, but in 1974, St Helens became part of Merseyside. So the St Helens Corporation buses became the Merseyside Passenger Transport and Authority Executive. That's the buses, the Merseyrail and the Mersey ferries. They've not got one of them here. In 1985 they moved all of the buses out of this building and it was left derelict up until 2006. Apparently it was in an awful state. But that's when they opened this museum, filled with loads of buses. It's only open on a Sunday from 10 till 4 and it's £6 to get in. But get on this, Bimblers. You get a free bus ride. A free heritage bus ride on an old-fashioned bus, all included in your £6. It's £6 to get on a Warrington bus. Incidentally, they've got a Warrington bus here, one that used to go to Stockton Heath. Anyway, let's stop messing about and let's bus Bimble.
Magnetically brought me to you. Visions that cut through the cold to my heart. Feelings of warmth now resume. Feeling that coming from you. Bursting to blow at the seams of my heart.
Well, Bimblers, that was rather bumpy, but very enjoyable. It's a Warrington Corporation bus, that. The number 3 going to Richmond Avenue. It's just around the corner from my childhood home in Latchford. You'd think that would be mission completed, wouldn't you, Bimblers? We went to the museum we were supposed to go last time, but we missed something out last time, something I didn't know existed at the time. So let's Bimble, back up the big hill, to near the East Lancs Road.
As if this was love that I felt, falling for somebody else, taking my eyes from the ground, turning my heart upside down. As if this could change all the past, fixing the bruise from the last time that I felt anything. As if this was love that I felt, as if this was somebody else. Love that I felt, falling for somebody else, taking my eyes from the ground, turning my heart upside down. As if this could change all the past, fixing missing the bruise from the last time that I felt anything. As if this was love that I felt, as if this was somebody else.
Just down the East Lancs Road from Carmill Dam, where we stopped in the last St Helens Bimble, is St Helens Cemetery, and at that time I didn't know there was anything interesting here, but there is. There's a tower from 1415, that's pretty interesting. It's actually the oldest building in St Helens. I mean, it's not in one piece like the Friends Meeting House in the town centre, but it is nearly 300 years older. This would have been a chantry. A chantry is a small chapel that's dedicated to burial ceremonies and celebrations of the dead. Rich people had them built because they were afraid of going to purgatory. They thought that building a little church would curry favour with God and put him in his good books. According to Henry VIII's new Church of England, it was a Thomas Gerard Knight that set up the chantry here in St Helens, and he had it built so that he could hold masses for the souls of his dead ancestors. Sounds very macabre. The priest at the time was called Richard Frodsham, and he was paid £4.16 a year in 2 instalments, in case he spent it all in one go. It would appear that Father Frodsham converted to the new Church of England from Catholicism, because Henry VIII let him keep his chantry. So if Henry VIII didn't knacker this church, who did? Well, it was Oliver Cromwell, wasn't it? His men came through and stripped all the lead off the roof to make musket balls to fire at the royalists. And because there was no lead on the roof, the rest of the chantry fell into disrepair, and all that's left today is the tower. It's a tower where another Sir Thomas Gerard Knight would have been locked up. He was locked up for helping Mary Queen of Scots try and abscond to the Isle of Man, and he was caught. He had to sell his estate to buy his freedom. That whole Mary Queen of Scots thing is very long-winded, and I don't know all the ins and outs. So we'll zoom through history to 1858. That's when the St Helens Corporation made a municipal cemetery, and they made the grounds of the chantry part of it. And at some point after that, they moved the old town cross from the town centre of St Helens next to the tower where it stands today. How did I miss all that?